Hey, what's up my friends? Nick Arapkalis here, and I'm going to dive right into this video because it is a serious subject at hand, and I typically stay away from this type of content, especially on my YouTube channel, because I like to just keep it focused on business, marketing, YouTube ads, and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's important to bring this up, and I actually saw a video the other day, this video right here by Alex Becker. I'll also put a link in the video description. I think it's very important that you listen to it and watch it. But I wanted to kind of give my rendition of it, and because I just thought it was so powerful and important, especially for the entrepreneur in today's day and age, with racism going on, with coronavirus, just everything that's going on. And basically the real solution to all of this. I know everyone has their views on what should happen. They have their views on what is going on and how to fix it. And a lot of people from different perspectives are coming to this, and it's such a complex issue. So there's never going to be like one video that's going to make all the difference or anything like that. But I wanted to give you my perspective and also kind of give you my interpretation of Alex's video, because it rang very, very true. And I think it's the ultimate guide to really rising above this and actually having a voice in all of this issue. So the biggest thing within Alex's video that I wanted to continue to discuss here on this video is really how do you help? How do you help? Because I made a post the other day on my Instagram, okay? And I gave my rendition because, generally speaking, I'm a pretty positive person. I always like to focus on that aspect of things where I want to stay positive. I want to avoid that negative energy. I don't want to feed that too much because it will just germinate and grow within me, and then it will just not be good for people around me and my circles, people I have influence over. So that's kind of what I did, and I just wrote out a note. It was like basically three screenshots of a notepad in my phone, and it was explaining basically that, how I didn't want to feed into this. I didn't know what to say, but I also didn't want to feed any negative energy. And it was most specifically on the whole idea, the racist stuff, the racism, the whole thing with George Floyd being killed by a police officer. So that's what it was mainly about. And I still have a strong stance of that. We need to stay positive, and we need to, not feed in too much negative energy. But I also understand the perspective of other people's side of things, because after that post, I got a lot of flack. I got a lot of backlash from that. And since then, it really got me thinking, like, how do I go about this? Because it's not as simple as just staying positive, because sometimes that's just not a viable option in the moment. And it's just, especially when there's a lot of trauma that goes on. So the reason that I'm even mentioning any of this type of stuff is because I've started having conversations with people, and I've started digesting a lot of content, a lot of videos, a lot of information, documentaries. But Alex's video rang really true if you really want to be able to help this situation and really fix it, okay? And the biggest thing that you must understand, and I've known this before, but Alex's video just really shed some light on it, is the fact that there's basically a handful of people, a handful of powerful and wealthy people that control basically all the media, okay? Understand that. It's Disney, ABC, and I don't know the other ones, but I'll show like a kind of a screenshot on the screen. But it's basically controlled by only a handful of people. So we don't really know exactly what their agenda is. Everyone can have their opinions and beliefs on what they think the agenda is of the media, but no one really knows. Obviously, only the people that are controlling it know. But the truth of the matter is that they can control attention like that. And they control the attention of everybody just like that. So if they want people to rise up and get all pissed about racism, they can do it like that. If they want people to be peaceful and do peaceful protests, they can do it like that. Because they can shine light on whatever they want to shine it on, and then therefore that transfers onto social media as well. So just understand that. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a very complex issue, but you have to understand that, because that is so important. You have to understand it. Like, there's no debate about the fact that they can change trends. They can create trends like that within days, even within hours. And it's interesting because I remember seeing a post a while back, and it was basically showing all the major media outlets, and they were showing them side by side, and they were literally saying the exact same thing, like verbatim. They were saying the exact same thing. So they have the control to do it like that. So understand that. Now, I'm not saying that that alone is just the solution to anything, but I want to get into this now, is that, you know, you can jump on social media, you can make your posts, you can do everything you can on there, and you can speak your voice and all that kind of stuff. But the metaphor that Alex gave, and I thought this rang so true, is that we are all in a wave pool, and our goal is to stop the waves. Okay, stick with me here. Our goal is to stop the waves. So basically, this is like, we are all living in the world, in the US, and we're in this crazy time when there's racism and COVID and like all sorts of stuff. And that's all these waves coming at us, right? And so many of us are trying to fight these waves. And, you know, a lot of people are doing their best. Okay, and they're trying to combat the waves. They're trying to kick down the waves, they're trying to splash them, but they're never going to really stop the waves by just combating the waves, right? You can make your splashes, you can, you know, especially if you have some influence, you can make big splashes and get people to pay attention, right? But there's absolutely zero way that you're possibly going to stop the waves doing that, being in the wave pool, right? So stick with me here again. The only way that you can possibly slow down the waves or stop the waves is if you get out of the wave pool and you go to the control room where they're changing the levers. Okay? And what that metaphor is gaining enough power and money to be able to have that type of influence where you really have control, where you can change things, where you can change the levers of the wave pool. Because until you do, you are just splashing around in the wave pool. It's crazy. Again, I know it's a very complex issue, and I want to be sensitive to everyone's thoughts, beliefs, and perspectives, because that's actually what I've been doing. I've been having a lot of conversations with a lot of different people from a lot of different perspectives lately. And honestly, even with people that I have differing opinions than them, but I still listen and I still gain perspective, because there's so much perspective to be had in this whole situation. And I think it's important to have those conversations and to be cognizant of other people's perspectives, because everyone has a different perspective on this, but it's such a complex issue that it's not going to be solved overnight. But the one thing that I will tell you that I already mentioned, but I want to come back to, is that the only way that you can truly have massive change in stuff like this is if you have enough power and money. That's the only way. Because think about it, like people like Donald Trump, whether you hate him or you love him, he has power. He has the ability to change stuff even before he became a president. It's the same way for all powerful, wealthy people. So if you want to have massive change, you should shut up and get powerful, and you should get rich. And you can focus on that by focusing on your business and just keeping your head down. Because honestly, and this is my opinion, but I honestly believe entrepreneurs are the only ones that can truly have lasting change in this world. Because, and I'm hesitant to even say this, but the government does not always have our best interests in mind, because when they have a nation that is divided, they're good. When they have a nation that is unified, then they can be taken down easily. So they don't actually want us to be unified, which is crazy. So the government's never really going to fully take care of us. The government's always going to start these battles and just little stuff that kind of just slowly keeps us divided, because it's also kind of a conversation of capitalism versus socialism. And we could get very deep into this conversation, and I don't want to, and those are just kind of like facts, maybe a little bit more of my opinion, but really when you look at this stuff objectively, that's kind of what it comes down to. Okay, but I don't want to dive too much into that. I just want to say, like, the ultimate guide to you actually having legitimate change and legitimate influence and being able to help these types of situations is becoming a true entrepreneur and gaining a lot of power and a lot of money. And you get power from money. That's just the reality of things. So I even made a post today on my Instagram, and it was, I don't know if I have the book. I have the book right here, and I'm actually probably going to do a review on this, but it's Think and Grow Rich. And It had nothing to do with the current circumstances of anything in the world. I wanted to make a post about it because I started reading the book, and I think it's a powerful book. And I basically shared the stuff that I want to share right now with you is that Napoleon Hill, his work is responsible for more millionaires than any other person's work combined. And so if you want to get rich and you want to have power and you want to be able to change things in the world when crazy stuff arises like this, I would recommend reading that book because it's going to teach you how to do that. Now, is it going to come overnight? No. Is it going to come over a week, a month, a year? Probably not. But it can happen over years if you constantly implement the stuff that is in that book, and you constantly, market your business correctly, advertise your business correctly, have a business set up that is giving value to the world. That's how you can really have lasting change. So yes, you can jump on social media, you can make your posts, you can have conversations with people, and I think that's all good. And I think we should continue to do that because that's going to help the change. But the only way that you're going to have true lasting impact and be able to change the trajectory of it is if you gain a level of money and power. And that's just the truth. That's the truth, because the powerful people, the people that are controlling the media, are people that are powerful and rich. And they got that way. They got power because they got rich, they got wealthy, and now they have control over all the media, and now they can control attention. So I just wanted to share that. There's a chance I would probably get some flack for this video, depending on if a lot of people see this or not. You never know with social media posts. But wanted to give you my perspective, especially after seeing Becker's video. It just shed a whole lot of light. And if you just focus on the things that you can control and focus on things that are going to lead to more money and more power in your life, that's how you get lasting change. Okay, a lot more change than just having conversations and posting on social media. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching the video. Talk soon.